everybody! Seth here with the final video of 2022, as well as the long-awaited, highly anticipated first monthly progress showcase for Super Boss Unrivaled Lotus Jubei. Thanks to Jeets for the name there, man. It's a good one. Okay. That said.
What's the matter?
Oh, jeez. Okay. Need to level myself out here. In any case, I have finally, with Arcune finished and done, as you can see, I have finally managed to find time and opportunity and peace and quiet to work on this man, finally. And, yeah, I'm gonna show you what I've been up to this month. I am going to point out that, of course, it's kind of reasonable to say that this mod of Jubei has been built off of my old Unlimited version, and that said, he, of course, inherits all the changes I made to his Unlimited form, with some slight tweaks I've made now that are still in progress. But with that out of the way, I feel like I should probably speed run through the changes that he has inherited from Unlimited Jubei before talking about what I've actually done to the Super Boss version here. So, that said, the things that have carried over from my Unlimited Jubei mod are the following. His combo rate has been buffed from 60 to 70. His overdrive effects are, of course, permanently active, so the drive moves gain faster startups, and the single-use limit on the install drive is removed. Simple as that. 3C deals a hard knockdown on the second hit. Takes a second before they can attack. 6A, the counterattack, has better Paration 1 and always wall bounces and can also fatal counter like 6B does, because for some reason it can't normally. Let's see. The regular drives can be used despite his install permanently being active. He can still use his regular drives, his regular 5B and his aerials. The commands have changed, but I'll go into that later, but these are still usable by themselves, even while you have the install active. The base damage of the first hit has been tripled, and they all leave Jubei closer to the opponent on a successful hit for easier follow-ups. Fissuring Impact can be jump cancelled, or can go into Divine Form on header block. Shadow Wolf has less recovery, similar to if it's cancelled into from Fissuring Slash, and the knockdown time is increased. Demon Fox, while grounded, is faster startup, similar to if it's cancelled, also similar to how it's cancelled from Fissuring Slash. But without the longer recovery, so you actually have time to follow up off of it afterwards. Wild Lion deals out hits faster while he's airborne and can cancel into Roaring Pillar on hit or block. Let's see, is it hit or block? Yeah, on landing. Rising Justice has less recovery. Black Panther, okay, well I did kind of change that one. Okay, so we'll skip that one for now. We'll come back to that when I talk about the actual Super Boss changes. Morning Shore. The final hit of this is a hard knockdown. Shit. The final hit of this is a hard knockdown. Give me time to run up and do whatever else, maybe. Also allows a fault from, the grounded super in the same combo, so you can do Morning Shore. And then Roaring Pillar afterwards. For a cool double super combo that now does fucking nearly 9,000 damage. Let's see. He has a new distortion in the form of 226-226C, which doesn't have a name yet, but this is a quick unblockable slash into a very... Oh god, the damage this fucking move does now. It's a quick unblockable slash into a very damaging follow-up. That's basically your premier combo ender. He also has another new distortion that I more or less took from BB Tag in the form of 22C. This is a metered parry called Twilight Tiger. And this counter will beat any move that isn't a grab. Or actually, if that isn't a projectile. It will beat grabs, but it will lose projectiles. And yeah, that's about it for all the Unlimited changes that got carried over. With those tidbits out of the way, we can now get into what I've pretty much really been up to in terms of making him. I will say, don't expect anything too crazy right now, as I have more or less just started working on him. I spent the entirety of December here basically focusing on changes to his normals and really just laying the groundwork for how he's gonna feel mobility-wise and stuff. Although I realized before I started recording this that, I really do need to buff his air dash speed. That's fucking god-awful. So that will be getting done for next month, of course. But anyways, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's go over what I have more recently done to the cat here to make him the strongest creature on the planet. So, because of his canonical strength and story prevalence, I have, of course, given him the privileged amount of 20,000 HP. There have been some suggestions that I maybe should go higher for him, like I did with Susanoo, though. And if you guys are game for that, then I am perfectly fine with giving him a little more HP to make him the second rule breaker of sorts that I've released so far to break the HP cap. But other than that, he has 20,000 HP, at least for right now. He has a 50% walk speed increase. His run speed has been increased significantly too, to be higher than his unlimited. Might make it a little faster. I mean, it's fast, but it could be a little faster. But his run speed's been increased more than his unlimited. The backdash into forward dash now has much more further forward movement. Like, a lot more, so... Goes about full screen, nearly. Can still parry block out of it. Maybe I'll give it a little more, just so you can, like, full screen. And on the note of his, grounded forward dashes, both of these are immune to head and projectile attacks for their entire duration, allowing him to run over really high-profiling moves and zoning attempts to just get right up in your face and beat the shit out of you. Yeah, I dropped the follow-up there. That's embarrassing.
What's the matter?
Speaking of Susanoo as well, similarly to him, Unrivaled Lotus Jubei here has a 50% damage buff, which also coincides with the super boss version that I made for Hibiki. And some other, basically all the other characters that were built off of my unlimited mods. So, 50% more base damage increase. Makes a huge difference in his potential. Oh shit, something I forgot to mention about the unlimited changes. I skipped over this one apparently because I forgot to mark it. But his Shiranui mark and his install are both always active, of course. The mark is just invincible, or not, the mark is just invisible. So you can see it will still apply the second hit on block. Even though the mark is not visible, it is active and there. And then, of course, the install being active there. Unlike most characters, his throws have also received a buff in that their Operation 2 values have been increased from 50 to 80, allowing his throws to give you more damage off of them in combos. And this does include the air throw. Oh, I might make that leave him closer, actually. And another change to more universal things that I actually put from Hakumen because I got some pretty good feedback on when I changed this for him. Jubei's counter assault has been completely changed in a similar vein that I did for Full Power Hakumen, changing his into an invincible Yanagi. But for Jubei's case, he will instead perform a faster, invincible version of Black Panther. It is a blockable Black Panther, but as you can see, it is very much a far more potent combo starter than a normal counter assault would be. Basically allowing you to shift defense into offense on a whim for 50 meter and get a huge reward off of it. I'm kind of glad I dropped that. But yeah, counter assault is now a very, very huge and useful tool for Jubei, as you can just... Huge damage. You don't fuck it up like I just did. Let's see. In addition to this, all of his normals are now +1 in attack level. And I do mean all of them. So all of his sword normals, so his C normals mainly, these are all now attack level 5 instead. Speaking of sword normals, they all now deal chip damage. Normals gain chip damage, while the specials that all use his sword get increased chip damage. Normals will do 20% chip damage, and specials / distortions will do 25% chip damage. Here's what it looks like with no generation on. Pretty sizable chunk that can easily, like, stack up over time. Oh shit, that's low. And now on to specific normal changes. We have to start off with 5A and 2A, as they are both considerably faster and have slightly reduced recovery, making them much safer on block and on offense in general. 5B has slightly increased forward movement, so he can move, he reaches a little farther with this now, and 50% more air and technical time. and can now cancel into 6C on hit or block. 5C has extra air and technical time on the second hit, raised by 50%, and is also applied to the first hit. This can now also go into 6C or hit on block, and can also be jump canceled on block now. 2A is now counted as a low, since it wasn't before. And the third cancel version has the same active frame time as the others, because for some reason when you chain into 3 of these, the third one that you do has a little less active frames, and I have decided I reverted that, so that's all the same now. Consistency, after all. 2B has its lower than average Preparation 1 value removed, making it a much better starter, like it should be. And can also, and pretty much also like all these other moves that I've described so far, gains the ability to cancel into 6C on hit or block. Get used to that because I've applied that change to pretty much every normal, because 6C had very restrictive ways to actually go into it normally. Let's see, 2C gets his head invincibility on frame 1, making it a much better anti-air. Gets additional low invincibility after he leaves the ground, and both of these last until he lands. The crappier than average Preparation 1 and Preparation 2 have been removed as well, similarly to the Preparation 1 that got removed from 2B, making a much better starter and combo extender. And on block, you can go directly into JA to continue your offense. Or just jump cancel and if you want to fake out and bait anti-airs. The choice is yours. 3C's additional changes other than the knockdown on the second hit. The crappier than average Preparation 1 Preparation 2 has been removed. The air and technical time raised by 50%. This is now also jump cancel on block like 5C is. And can go into any other C normal. On hit or block. What can you do? Oh, it doesn't reach. Both hits are now counted as low as well. So not just the second one, the first hit is now also a low. It is a double low now. 6B and 6B parries aren't parries anymore! They have been completely replaced by their counterattacks as being standalone normals. Kind of like what I do with Hakumen's counterattacks by making them like 4D, etc. like that. So he can still have his old counter follow-ups. But now the 6B and 6A parries are gone and they are instead just standalone attacks that you can use in combos or pressure or whatever you fucking feel like. They of course have lost their invincibility though to make them less ridiculous. They can each only be used once in a cancel string, and each are no longer in counter hit state during recovery, so you don't get punished as hard for getting hit after these. Considering these are initially parries, these are both really fucking fast moves to start. 6A, other than the changes I've already listed to it from his Unlimited, now has guard point to head and body move during the active frames, so it will beat certain attacks very cleanly when used in neutral, and can cancel into any B, C, or D normal. The options are quite limitless, even into 6B if you want. 6B can go into any C or D normal. No other changes in mind for this yet. Also, 6C has a really fucked up hitbox, as you can see in this game. I really want to show that off real quick. Look at this shit! This should absolutely be hitting, but what the fuck were they doing when they designed the hitbox for this character? I'll see if there's a way I can fix this, but no guarantees. And speaking of 6C, it's actually the next move we get to talk about. 6C has been very much buffed. From having its Preparation 1 value change from 70, which is complete fucking garbage and worse than most characters' overheads, to a staggering 120, making it Jubei's best starter now. And the bonus Preparation to incentivize using it even more has been raised from 110 to 120. And the low and throw invincibility that occurs in the attack occurs a bit sooner, not quite frame 1, but a little faster before he leaves the ground. All of his aerials have an increase in air and technical time by 50%. JA can cancel into any air normal, including itself, I think. Yeah, including itself on hit or block. And the Preparation 1 has been raised from 80 to 85. JB, both hits are overheads now, and can cancel into any other air normal on hit or block, with Preparation 1 going from 80 to 90. JC and J2C have the Preparation 1 values raised from 80 to 95, and J2C is jump cancelable on block, or hit. JC can go into J2C on hit, doesn't really come in handy very often. And J2C has the same air impeccable time as JC. As well as less grounded pushback, making it your premier jump-in normal on hit to begin combos with, as well as if you cross up the opponent with it, since it has a very cross-up friendly hitbox, I've decided to have Jubei auto-turn to face the opponent to more ensure you get that nasty cross-up hit. Regular drives, as I said, have had their commands changed from the Unlimited version, because I don't know what the fuck I was thinking making them all A moves, but it was initially because I couldn't get them to work as D moves. Well, I have fixed that now. So the new commands for regular drives are now for 5D, it's 6D now, which is uninstall 5D. J2D is uninstall JD, and J6D is, well, still uninstall J6D. Let me see, the Paration 1 on all these has been raised from 80 to 90. The aerial versions are considered overheads now, and can cancel into others, or in 6D's case, itself, up to 2 extra times, because I figured this would be very flashy to look at here as a nice combo ender into distortions. I do need to balance that out a little bit more, but I'm pretty sure this should probably be to everyone's liking, because I find it incredibly cool. And with those normal changes out of the way, we can go on to our 2 special changes for right now. I have not touched the other ones yet, but I have made modifications to both Black Panther and Divine Form. At the suggestion of our good friend John Brown, Black Panther is now always unblockable. I really thought about this and considered if it would be too strong or not, but Black Panther is actually not that much faster than Makoto's Serious Jolt, so I figure a 21 frame unblockable really isn't the worst thing in the fucking world. Not only, though, is it unblockable by default, but it no longer has the Paration 1 penalty that you normally got when fully charging it for that unblockable. Normally, when you fully charge this move into the unblockable state, the Paration 1 gets reduced to 50, making it a really shitty starter. Well, that's been completely removed, so now you get insanely godlike damage off of this. Should you please? Damn, I'm at 10k. That wasn't even the most complicated combo either. Let me see. Oh, it always has the shorter recovery from when you, perfectly just frame it as normal Jubei, although that was a change that I did the Unlimited version. Divine Form, on the other hand, recovers a little bit faster, and Jubei is now invincible once he starts moving until he stops. The extra recovery lets you act out of it a little faster and, not only get in pressure better, but it also lets you do interesting air combos like this that I think you'll find very appealing. Shit. Yeah, stuff like that. Really cool aerial side switches. Ooh! Oh shit, that was an accident. I meant to actually, like, overdrive into Exceeding Cell after that. That was cool, though. Fuck yeah.
What's the matter?
Speaking of Exceeding Cell, I have of course applied the universal Exceeding Cell Super Boss changes, in that it is always the active flow version in... Well, that kind of spoiled something I was gonna talk about like a minute later or so, but let's just ignore that for now. So, the Exceeding Cell is always the fast startup, as if you cancel into it, active flow version. And the minimum damage has been increased from 10%, and I was a little more generous with Jubei. Instead of giving him 40 or 30, I gave him 50%. Along with his 50% damage bonus, that makes it do 6k and probably scale very well as a combo ender. Speaking of that change that we just saw there, before I go on to something else I have to the last change for the day, an idea that Jeet suggested, but I have thought it over a little bit and decided and made a decision on, but when he pops Overdrive, you've probably noticed already, there is a burst effect around him, and if that burst hits, you will find that it is actually a gold burst from Continuum Shift, a mechanic that they had only in that game, I believe, and then got rid of it, because of how stupid it was. But when Jubei activates Overdrive, he will emit a continuum shift-like gold burst around himself, which knocks opponents into the air if they are not blocking. And this gold burst, say if used off an Overdrive cancel, which I can't actually, fizzles out before it actually knocks them upwards right now. But say if you did this off an Overdrive cancel, this gold burst has 110 duration too, meaning that it upscales your combo damage. So not only do you enter Overdrive, but you get a very great combo extender that will drastically increase the damage that you are about to inflict with the Overdrive that you have just activated. So as you can see, it's not quite functioning as I would like it to. It doesn't work when you Overdrive cancel into it right now. There's a lot of just general stuff I need to try to get this to work the way I'm envisioning it to. But in the meantime, that will be a thing hopefully at some point if I can get it to work. And I think it'll add a neat little, considering Jubei is the old-school master more so than anyone else in the series, even more so than Valkenheim, I think he deserves an old-school mechanic. Especially a broken old-school mechanic. And that leads us into our last change for the video, and this was another suggestion from our good friend John Brown, and that is to Ashura Thunderbird Rising, his Astral, which I will almost definitely be giving a different command to, which I've not gotten around to doing yet, but this Astral command is complete fucking garbage. As for what I've made the move do, the part that John suggested is to have Ashura teleport to the opponent on use. I actually have Rachel block real quick. And so he will. Jubei will teleport to the opponent when he uses his Astral. But if you hold down the C button when using it, he will instead warp behind them for a cross-up attempt. The warp is very, 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 very fucking fast, so it's kind of a 50-50 in a way on which side he's going to appear on, because I don't think you'll have enough time to quite react before the move goes active, and you die from it, assuming he just does it raw, doesn't just combo into it, which he can obviously still do that too. The change that I have additionally decided to give it, though, is that this move is completely and utterly invincible. And by that it means it is invincible even in recovery, meaning you cannot punish Jubei for trying to raw astral you, because he will still be invincible. Oh, and also the teleport can steal corner, because of course it can, so even if you're cornered, you're not safe from getting crossed up by this. And that pretty much wraps things up for Jubei for right now to start. Unrivaled Lotus Jubei, thanks to Jeets for the name once again. I really like it. I had trouble choosing between all the ones you were giving me because they're all pretty good, but I think we have settled on Unrivaled Lotus Jubei for right now at least. Look forward to what else I end up doing with him in the future, because of course, like I said, I was just laying a good groundwork before I get into anything like his, the actual changes to Rising Justice that I can do now that this projectile file isn't completely fucking botched. Ran into a little snag there, but we got past it luckily, so we shouldn't have any more problems at this point on. So a change for the future I kind of want to do with him is that I want to give him a really flashy looking aura, and Jeet suggested that I give him his eye glow effect from his Astral. The problem is I can't seem to find the particle data to apply it to him for some reason. I don't know how to actually call it into the game, but as for potential auras and after images, I figure like an Orange one to match his install aura would be good, but also he does have this aura particle from his Astral that I think would make a very, very good addition to his aesthetic here. Go ahead and let me know what you guys think in the comments about that, though. I'm pretty gung-ho to just give this to him right out the gate as soon as possible. In any case, thank you all very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you're looking forward to more Jubei, because I'm sure he's going to turn out to be an absolute beast in the future. And I'll see you later.